Yeah, hello, welcome back to another Flutter tutorial on ITT and Cyber. Yeah, I know it's kind of a surprise. This is my first time actually show up in in camera, but we shall be actually seeing that over time. Yeah. Okay, so let us kick off. Now, previously we tried to look at a sample UI for a login screen. Yeah, and we have an entry where we shall have an email and password. But what we are going to do today is actually making some little few modifications in our UI design here, because we didn't give access to a user to enter the email field or the password field as well. So after doing that, then we shall navigate to a login button. So when we click the login button, this shall navigate us to a next screen, maybe home screen, or it can be a welcome screen, or any page of your choice here. Then later we shall handle the register screen or button as well. So what we are going to do, instead of returning a plain text within this container, so I'll modify its child to another widget called a text field. Yeah, text fields actually, they really help us to give the user input, yeah, input access to your application or your UI. So what we're going to do is that we're going to modify this. So instead of returning a text, I'll first remove this padding because I don't need to wrap it. So remove it. Then I'm going to remove this child for text widget. Then I'll call for a text form field. Either we can use a text field or a text form field. With a text field, it has a few arguments. Yeah, a few logic functions. Yeah, but I'll recommend you using a text form field because it really has quite many. Yeah. So I'll go for text form field. Then within a text form field, what are we going to use? You come here and you hover, then you see what do we have within. We have a text editing controller. This is the controller that is actually helping you to track the user input. Yeah. So we have an initial value. We have focus mode. No, sorry. We have decoration. Yeah. So let's start with a decoration. Then we shall have input decoration. Then within input decoration, we shall have a label text. Okay, we can use a label text or we can use a hint text actually, but I prefer using a hint text because the label text doesn't go away actually. Yeah, we can try that using a label text as email. Let's see. Okay, yeah, but it's, oh god, let's see. Okay, but this is weird. We need to remove this. I need to center this into this container. So what I'm going to do is I'll first center this child. I'll wrap it into a center widget. Save. Okay. So after centering it, we shall remove the border. So I'll say border, then I say input border dot none. I'll remove that as well. Okay. Okay. That's nice. So something else that we shall need. Let's see. Try to make a click. Okay, fine. I want to return a label text, or I want to return a hint text. So I'll use a hint text for email. Save. So difference for a label text doesn't actually disappear, but a hint text is like a placeholder. Yeah. So once the user inputs a character inside here, it will to disappear. So, and this is to the edge, so I think I should give it padding. Yeah, I should give it padding. So okay, that's nice. Yeah, at least that's nice. So when I type something, triplex like that. Okay, so what else do we need? We shall need a controller to actually get to trap what the user inputs here. So, but we haven't created a controller yet, of which this controller is a text editing controller. Yeah, and it's not within input border, it's outside. So controller, we shall create these controllers later, so I'll comment them down. We're not actually going to track the user input right now. Okay, I think that is okay. So what else do we need? We need to also modify that of password. But before we modify that of password, we can put also an icon. We see input decoration text in an icon, icon color, then label text, blah blah blah. There is something I want. Is a prefix icon or a suffix icon? Yeah, prefix icon, that is to the left. So I'll call a prefix icon, and I'll call icon here, and I'll say icons the email, maybe email outlines. You can use any you want. Sorry, I'll say okay, something like that. Yeah. And I think I can also change the icon color. Prefix icon color, colors dot green, since that we're actually using a lot of green. Okay, just like that. So we go to that of a password. It's not clickable here. Yeah, we go to the password field. Then instead of saying a password, why are you returning this text? So I'm going to erase this. Come back here. This is literally the same. We shall all still create a text form field. Give it a hint text. Oh, sorry. Decoration. Input decoration. We give it a hint text as password or enter password, whatever you want. Then we shall give it also prefix. Let me use a suffix now, a suffix icon. So we shall say icon icons dot no visibility. Yeah, I want to be switching later. Visibility, maybe it's visible right now. Oh, we didn't close up here. Something like that. Okay, we need also to remove the border. Input border dot none. I don't want that line. Oh, none. Yeah. What else? Something like that. Yeah. Then we need to center it because password is actually going up. We need to center it up. So I'll come and say set up a child with its respective padding. Okay. And this padding is way weird. Okay, I think that is nice. Can also change this icon color in case we really want to. So come here and say suffix icon color. Then I change the color to colors.green as well. You can also give it a prefix in case you want to. So I'll call for prefix. Icon. Icons dot lock. And we can as well change the prefix icon color to green. So I think I just copy up this and replace it. Okay, just like that. So that's done. Yeah, so now our login UI makes sense. Okay, so now we're actually going to see how we navigate from this login design UI button to another screen. So what we need to do, we need to first get to know which outlet is, because we covered it up last time. Okay, so apparently we are into the main.dat. Yeah, so we are going to actually create different pages within the lib folder. So what we need to do, we need to specify this login UI somewhere. So what we shall do, we shall come here, then we create a new file, right? So we shall create a new file and say this is the login. Oh, login page.dat. Okay, so we are going to transfer the other class or the other stateless widget to this page. So what you're going to do, we come back to the main.dat. Then instead of returning this scaffold, so I'll get this entire scaffold right here. So I think let me just minimize it. Minimize it. Copy it up. Oops. I wanted this. Put you to the next line and minimize you. So on the scaffold, Ctrl C, I'll remove it from here. then to the login page. Shortcut for importing material.dat is import m, then come here and say we're creating a stateless widget. Stateless widget, just like that. Then we shall call it a login page. So instead of just returning a container, I'll return the scaffold we had the other side. Are we having an error somehow? Okay, that's okay now. So we have a scaffold like that. Okay. I don't want these blue lines. I'll try to remove them. Oh, it's slowing down. Stop. Okay. So I'll save for this. Then I come to the main.dat. We're going to rectify this. So we said within the main.dat we return a material app. Have to do it like that, which is a black screen actually. So instead of returning a body, because it's not a scaffold, we shall return home. And home, we are going to call for the other page, for the login page. So you have to call this class here. We don't call for the name here in the lib folder, but we keep respect of the class we created here. Okay, so I can copy up this, come this side, and I paste it. That is the page. It's a widget, that's why I'm using these normal brackets just like this. So I have to import this page right here, so you can import the page. That's why when you import a page, it comes within this main.dat file. So you can use the code within that specific page, or you can use the class within. So I shift back to my page. So this should work out well. When I start my application, it starts with main.dat, then with its my app class, then it calls for material app, then its home, it calls for a home page. Sorry, for a login page. Yeah. So inside my lib folder, I'll create another page. Let's say maybe let me call it home page. Home page. When I click the login button, I need to navigate to this page. So I'll create it with a that extension. So I'll say import m. To import material.dat. Then I'll call for a stateless widget. And then I'll name this class to home page. Instead of home page, I'll call for a scaffold. oops, call for a scaffold, and then within the scaffold, maybe I'll call for an app bar. An app bar property calls for app bar, then app bar is having a title. It's going to be a text widget. So within this, I'll call for home screen. Home screen. Okay, just like that. Okay, so that's our home screen. So we want to navigate from the login screen to the home screen. How do we do that? There are different navigations we can actually use accordingly to your preference. So what we need to do is go to the logins page, then we try to access where we're having the login button, which is over here. So with this login button, we create a container. Let me denote it like login button. That's a login button. Then below we have a register button, which is down here. This within this row is where we have the register button. Okay. So for the login, instead of using, actually here we use the text button for a register button, and there are different buttons you can actually use. We have elevated buttons, so you can go into using what we call an elevated button. Elevated button, and it has the on pressed function already. But since that we modified using container, and a container doesn't have a void callback or a void call function actually. So what we do, we wrap this container into a widget that it allows us to have the on tap effect or the on pressed effect. So what we do, we wrap it within a widget, and I can either use an inkwell or we can either use a gesture detector. So I'll wrap it with an inkwell. So an inkwell allows you to give any widget an access for it to be having an on tap function or an on pressed function, and it's clickable actually. So we can either use an inkwell or we can use a gesture detector. Any you want according to your customizations. So when you go to inkwell, we have a void function for on tap, on double tap, on long press, blah blah blah, just like that. So inside an inkwell, we shall call for on tap, and this is a void callback function, just like that. So within here is where we put our navigation code. So we shall write navigator dot, we have push, we have pop, we have push replacement, and so far we're actually going to use push. Then we shall look at maybe push replacement. Then we can also maybe look push and remove until, accordingly to what they do. But for now, let us first go with push. Then push requests for a build context and a navigation route. Yeah. So a build context, it's already context because when you come up here in your class that you created, you have a widget build, which is a build context that's denoted as a context. So where you're seeing context is the same as build context. Yeah. So we shall just come down here, and this is already there. Then we shall give it a route. So a route, we have different routes. We have different routes. We have Cupertino page route. And we have a material page route as well. Yeah, so it depends what you want, and there are more routes you can actually use. So you can use a material page route. It requests for a builder. So within this builder, we're just going to call for a build context, which is context. Then it will return to us a page we want to actually build to. So we shall call for another page that we created, which is the home page, and we shall call for its class, this class here. So when we come here, we shall say I'm calling for home page, and we shall import it just like that. Since that we are returning something, we shall end with that. Yeah. So I said we call for a navigator, then we give it a push. So with a push, it actually helps us to navigate to our page and can actually come back. So if you're using a push, it's different from using a pop. It's different from using a push replacement or okay, this is just breakdown like that. So that's the code we use. So when try to click on this button, it will actually have to navigate us to the home page. Okay, let us try that and see whether it really works out. So when you click here, oh, my machine is slowing down, but we're actually there. So with a push effect, it actually gives you access to another page, but you can navigate back to the previous page because it keeps its context. Yeah, just like this. Yeah, and there is a difference of using a material page route. I usually want to use a Cupertino page route. Why? Because it actually has a nice effect while it is actually navigating to another page. So I'll erase this and import that of Cupertino. Page route. So import it. Yeah, it's imported here. You realize that whenever I really put a comma, it breaks down that bracket to the next line. Yeah, so let me just leave them to one line, I guess. Yeah, okay, just like that. And something else I wanted to end with is something simple. You can create a drawer to your home page, or you can create a bottom navigation widget to control how you're actually navigating from one screen to another, and we shall see that in the next video. Thanks for watching, and subscribe please.